profits out of every wager. It's AI worth the squeeze. And Skybox Sports Network. Get your dream sports ticker and live odds boards at Skybox Sports Network, available on their website and at Amazon. Welcome in, everybody. It's week 11 of Man vs. Machine. We focus on the intersection of expert-based capping and AI-generated projections in this fast-growing world of sports betting. I'm Steve Shellman. This is Brian Reinert. We're going to be taking you through the NFL slate this week. I've spent the majority of my career using quantitative models to explain and forecast and predict human behavior. Been working for the Department of Defense for about the last 15, 20 years. We've taken all the technology we've built for monitoring crises and forecasting events and terrorist attacks and conflicts between countries, and we've turned it all on the sports world, baby. So we are focused on getting game projections correct and player props right. Brian right here is an expert capper. He's been capping games long before this whole online business of sports gambling began. And he's an expert gambler. He's playing poker these days too. So maybe we'll get into a little bit of his latest poker, rendezvous. The last couple of days he's in a tournament trying to win some money. But today we're going to focus on the various betting angles from both his human perspective and the AI perspective. See if we can't come to better informed picks regarding the spreads, money lines, totals, and some prop picks for this week in the NFL. So Brian's going to talk about key issues affecting teams and players, and I'm going to show you what the models are doing and how they're agreeing or disagreeing with each other in terms of picking game winners and trying to get props over their lines, right? So each week, we kind of, Monday, Tuesday, we throw out some games. We finally agree on 4 or 5 to cover. We go do our research, and then we come today. We've actually chatted a little bit before this podcast, but we have no idea what's about to be revealed to you guys today, right? I have no idea what Brian's about to say. He has no idea what I'm about to say. That's what's so cool about this show. So, Brian, welcome in. How you doing, buddy? How's that poker tournament? Let's tell us a little bit about what you've been doing lately in your poker tournament, baby.
Yeah, so I unretired. It was a big overlay. I plan on playing some big World Poker Tour events in December out here at the Wynn. They hold a big championship series for the whole month. So there's a couple events. I've kind of had the itch a little bit, been playing a little bit online, took down a couple tournaments last week, and I was like, I had a buddy of mine go, there's a big overlay at Venetian, you should go play it. So I ran down there, I registered super late, bagged up a massive stack, and the itch is coming back a little bit. Not that I want to go back out on tour, but I wanted to see how the live game, it evolved so much. I haven't played live poker in years. So I went there, and I guess it's like riding a bike, built up a big stack, and so we'll see what happens. We'll play day 2 tomorrow, and then this December, I'm going to play the 2100 Senior Championship World Poker Tour. It's like a $2 million guaranteed. And then probably play the championship event for 10,400 buy-in. It's a monster guarantee. It's like 7, 10, somewhere between 7 and 10 million. So anyway, wow. Yeah, I got a little bit of an itch. So we'll play a little bit, have a little fun, and see if we can't make some money. And last week the predictions were, it's rare you have an undefeated week. So I'm hoping
baby, let's talk about last week.
Yeah, looking at last week, and I put it up on Instagram, but I'm like, how many times do, we take 4 games with spreads, and we even squeezed the Lions to 20.5, and they covered that with that field goal at the end. We had, New England minus a 2.5. We won that one. We had the Rams minus 4.5. They crushed the Niners. Had Philly game minus 2.5 the other night. So I ended up hitting that one. And then had the Indy. And I told you the hook was ugly. Took it to 6, and they won by 6 in overtime. So, it felt good. My clients made a boatload of money. So in the last 2 weeks, I've gone from being an absolute rug for them to, everyone's happy, everyone's making money, everyone's collecting big scores. So, yeah, it was good. AI and the human kind of got together last week, and we banged them all. So nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's great when we agree, man. Let's see how we're going to do this week. I don't know, man. This week's slate's a little scary, man. There's all kinds of playoff games this week, man.
These 4 games we picked today are literally all playoff teams, I think.
Exactly, man. I know there's no rankings in NFL professional football, but if you look at the Vegas odds for the Super Bowl, right? The top 11 the top 11, man. We got 3 games of top 11 playing each other this week, man, which is pretty crazy. Overall, I had a decent weekend. The Bills upset and the Panthers upset killed me a little bit. I was a little bit down on Sunday after the early window because I thought I was going to hit parlays out of the park. That's my problem. It's like I'm trying to hit that big parlay out of the park, and it didn't work this weekend. We got crushed by the stupid Dolphins, man. I can't believe the Dolphins made the Bills look like that. The Bills should never look like that with Josh Allen at quarterback. I mean, I don't know if I have no idea like what was going on. But in the end, you know, we got all those straight bets, and then I started betting the NBA, and the NBA came back. You know, I'll talk a little bit about that throughout the podcast because we're doing really well in the NBA, man. We crushed it again last night, man. We got all 6 games. We were in the table again. 3 different ways. So I bet the money lines, I bet the spreads, I bet a mix of money lines and spreads, and all 3 bets, all 3 parlays hit, man. So pretty cool. The NBA models are screaming over there. But yeah, we had the Patriots, we had the Rams, we had the Colts, right? And we had the Eagles, baby. So, you know, that was a great 4 leg, and also with those spreads, you know, at the end on Monday, I had basically made way back into the black. I was back up again pretty good, and we had hit a couple parlays, man. So we hit I think we hit a 6-legger and an 8-legger or 9 and a 10-legger NFL parlays, man. So we hit a 9 and a 10 game NFL parlay. And then we got back in the 1% club on Pickett. So that made my day, man. When I opened my app on Tuesday, I was back in the 1% club. So that means that we did really well, right? I mean, if you get in the 1% with 500,000 users, man, you got to be doing pretty good. I was up like 125 units, I think, on Monday, and back up like another 100 units yesterday after the NBA. Man, the NBA is just crazy these days. So yeah, we're doing really good. We're on the NFL. We're about 70% money line, 70% spreads. So you just don't know the ones you're going to miss, right? So bet them straight. Right. And mix and match your parlays if you're interested in 4 and 5 and 6 game leggers. Try to mix those, and don't put the same teams every time on the same parlays. If you're going to bet,
thank you.
Anyway, so
it's the worst thing to do if you're playing a bunch of parlays.
Bills on every parlay when they're going to lose to the freaking Dolphins,
or any big favorite, man, because there's always those big trap games. That game just like I took the money line, and that's the one that actually cost me a couple parlays because it just felt ugly the way the line was moving, and you know, in Miami it just felt super trappy to me. I know it's just a gut thing to me, and that's exactly what happened. Remember 3 weeks before that they did the same thing. They threw in a lumper against, I think it was Atlanta, right? And so you got, you know, like they're known to throw in a bad game.
They lost to the Falcons, and now they lost to the Dolphins. The Patriots is their only real respectable loss, man.
You know, pounded KC. You know, like I don't know. They're one of those teams. I mean, I know they got some injuries. They got some, you know, problems moving some guys in and out, guys going on injury reserve, guys coming back. They brought some guys on the practice squad. You know, they tried to sign a bunch of people and didn't get anybody at the trade deadline, so they didn't help themselves going forward. But they're still a deep playoff team for me. You know, I picked them before the season started to win the Super Bowl. You know, they throw in some shitty games, but I still think when it matters, you know, Josh kind of carries the day. So.
Yeah. Okay, reminder that From the Cave, Man vs. Machine is sponsored by PropJuice AI, worth the squeeze. PropJuice is a full suite AI sports pick app delivering data-driven game picks and prop bets right to your mobile phone and your favorite web browser. PropJuice recommends the top dog of the day, breaks down multiple models of all the game's action all season long. Sign up at PropJuice.ai. The NBA is live, baby. I just showed a bunch of multi-leg game and prop parlays that we've cashed the last few days. Sign up for your platinum level subscription at PropJuice.ai. AI worth the squeeze. If you put our sponsor, Skybox Sports Network, code in at checkout, the code is Skybox10. If you put our sponsor's code in, Skybox10 at checkout, you get 10% off your first month's level subscription. Go ahead, sign up. Bet a 3 to 6 leg prop parlay tonight or tomorrow night. Bank that money. It'll pay for your subscription. All right. Let's jump into our first NFL matchup this week. Let's go back to Philly and their matchup with the Lions, baby. So before we dive in, I thought we should check out Super Bowl odds. I just mentioned a little bit how many teams we have playing right now. The Chiefs. Yes, Brian, the Chiefs. They're plus 600 to win Super Bowl. They got the best odds right now on in the Vegas odds lines. Rams are number 2 with 650.
Toss them out.
We got Eagles 750, Lions 750. So we got the Eagles and the Lions, right? Playing each other, and they're tied for third in terms of who could go and win the Super Bowl, right? Then we got the Seahawks, right, at plus 900, and then the Colts at 950. So we've got the Seahawks, man, playing a big one, as well with the Rams at number 2. You got the Eagles and the Lions. They're tied for 3rd. And then you've got Denver and the Chiefs playing, man, which is 1 versus 11, really, right? So, I mean, this is just incredible in terms of the slate we got this weekend. Philly's coming off that defensive battle, though, with the Packers in Lambeau. Lions are coming off that dominant performance against the banged-up Commanders. There's a loud buzz about Dan Campbell taking over the play calling in that one, right? He got everybody involved in that offense. Goff had 320 and 3 touchdowns. Gibbs went off for 142.
They scored on every possession.
Every possession. I mean,
they scored on every possession.
Jameson Williams had 119. St. Brown went over 50, and Laporta went over 50. I mean, everybody scored. Everybody went over their line, man. It was just a great game for the Lions, man. Now we got this defense, man, with the Eagles, right? I mean, did you know that there were 11 Georgia Bulldogs playing in that Packers-Eagles game, baby, on defense? And the score at halftime was 0-0. Go Dogs, baby. Keep
Dog D, baby.
Man. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah. It's 10-7, right? I mean, and I love the picture. Here we've got a picture of all of them out here after the game, just getting together after the game, man, just showing that Georgia Bulldogs love, baby. So anyway, man, that was a defensive stinker, man. Saquon only had 60 on the ground. Hurts threw for 183. Only 1 touchdown pass to Devonta Smith. It was pretty, but, that's about all they did, right? How did Philly slow down? How can they slow down this Lions offense? I mean, can they with those dogs on defense, right? And can the Eagles keep up with the Lions if the Lions, are firing all cylinders like they were last weekend? And what you got in this one? I don't know. This could be low scoring, could be high scoring. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this game, they're really lucky that this game's in Philly, because I think if this game was at Detroit, like, he puts a number on them. I mean, the Phillies are just not a team. Now, their defense is outstanding. And, they're not going to let the Lions, run all over them like, Washington. I mean, Washington has a good defense, but they were banged up. They had some guys missing. But, Goff has averaged like 300 yards the last 3 or 4 games. He has been on fire. Gibbs has been running the ball extremely well. And people kind of they forget Montgomery. He had 70 yards last week too. So I think this offense right now, they figured something out. I mean, it's clicking on all cylinders. The corners for Washington are pretty good. They're not, mediocre. They should have done a lot better job slowing down this offense. But anyway, I like the Lions. I even like the Lions money line. They're getting 2.5. I was surprised that the line came out that. I think it ends up going off a pick 'em. I really do think it's going to come down that much. The Eagles at home, their defense is good. They're not going to let the Lions run roughshod on them. But I think it's the Lions. This is one of my top picks for the week. So I took the Lions money line, and then I took the Lions. I squeezed that line to 3.5 on a couple parlays. But for the most part, and my client picks, I told them Lions money line. So that's where we're going this week.
The AI says the same thing, baby.
Wow.
It's actually mixed, but so we've got some mixed results here. But in terms of the money line model, we got consensus money line is 0.67 probability to win. The spread shows only one of the spread models has them losing by 2 points. So the plus 2.5, 3.5 is very safe bet according to the AI. But even for a money line for the Lions, man, our models had the Lions, being able to score against Philly too. I mean, we got a 25-23 consent. We got one model's 25-23, another one's 30-22. That's an 8-point game, right? And our consensus score is 29-23. That's a 6-point spread, man. So we got the Lions scoring on the Eagles defense in this one, which I think is interesting because I thought we would have a lower scoring game. We actually got the total going over 46. It's pretty interesting, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we got the Lions. The money line came out at 135. By the time 2 of my bigger guys got down, it was 130. But I think that money line, to get that kind of juice, an extra 30 points, I mean, 2.5, is it going to make a big deal? I mean, I guess if the Lions have some turnovers, it could end up. That's the only way I really see this, like, being a close game, to be totally honest with you, is like a nasty field goal at the end. So I did some parlays with 3.5, but I also did parlays with money line, and I told the clients money line as well, anything above 130. So we got some money down. Like, the bets are large this week. I'm a little nervous. I don't get nervous often, but I'm a little nervous on that one. But it was my second best game of the week. So,
yeah, the power rank model is the only model that's favoring the Eagles at all. I mean, they got a -2 Eagles with a 57% chance to win. That's not huge.
Wow.
And then I've got my Quant Edge model gives the Eagles a 23% chance to win.
Wow.
Drive Edge gives them a 26. Blitz Edge gives them a 24.
Yeah, I'm not scared of Detroit going up against a great defense, because I think Tampa Bay's defense is one of the best in the NFL, and they had no problem scoring on Tampa Bay. So I think Philly's going to struggle.
I'm more concerned about Detroit's defense, both with and without the injuries.
Yeah.
But you know, the Eagles just didn't look that great. You know, I mean, I know they were playing a decent Packers D, but you know, I mean, I don't think the Detroit defense is horrible. So
yeah,
man,
I mean, I looked. Kirby Joseph got moved up to questionable, and I'm hoping he's back. Branch played, but he seems like he's still gimpy a little bit in this last game last week. So I'm hoping that they get Kirby Joseph back. I think that's a big addition. I mean, those practice squad guys have done pretty well the last few weeks, filling in. But you know, they're not at the level of those two guys. I mean, those guys are two real good corners. So he's questionable. I kind of listened to a little bit of Detroit local news, and you know, the local guys out there, they usually have pretty good insight. And there's nothing going either way on whether he's going to play or not. But upgraded to questionable, so we'll see.
Yeah, in terms of props for this game, I mean, it could all go to hell if the Eagles defense comes to play. But I've got Goff going over 241. I got Gibbs going over 63. I got St. Brown under 75, but not by much. As far as the Eagles, it has Smith going over 57, but it has Barkley being held once again to under 70. So if Detroit can hold them to under 70, man, they're going to have to make Hurts beat them. And I don't know that, you know, he can, going up against Goff and that potent offense that the Lions bring. So as long as
Saquon Barkley's under 70, the Lions win the game.
Yeah. That's what I have. So we'll see what happens, man. We got Laporta and Williamson going over their lines, and as well as Goddard for the Eagles going over his line. But yeah, I think if the Lions are able to move the ball and score, this total looks like it could go over as well. You know, given the props that we're seeing, given the scores that we're seeing from the models, yeah, it looks like a pretty decent scoring affair. So, reminder from the cave, Man vs. Machine, sponsored by PropJuice, squeezing profits out of every wager. It's AI worth the squeeze. Sign up at PropJuice.ai. Get that platinum level subscription to be able to break down all these models. Get all the signals for making your parlays and choosing your winners at PropJuice.ai. AI worth the squeeze. Okay, let's move on to our second matchup. Talk about Baker and the Bucs, right? They got to travel north, though. They got to go up there out of the warmth to the cold frozenness of upstate New York to take on the Buffalo Bills. Both teams lost last week, quite frankly, both in a bit of embarrassing fashion. I mean, the Bills got blown out, right? We just talked about that. They should never look like that. And then in terms of Tampa, I mean, I don't know, man. I think the Patriots put it on them, you know. I think Baker didn't look that good. I thought that defense, every time it blitzed them, May took advantage of them, man. I think they got the best of both Baker and Bowles down there. So I don't know how Buffalo is the defense is gonna be able to play against Baker. I mean, that defense definitely did not look very good against the Dolphins last week. So we'll see what they can do against this banged up Bucs. I mean, that's the problem. The Bucs are just so banged up, man. I mean, I wish they'd get healthy. It'd be a much better game, I think. But with the Bucs being banged up and the Bills losing, man, I don't know. I don't see the Bucs making a run on this either, man. What you got, man?
No. So the biggest concern for me is the health of Tampa Bay. They're doubtful. Irving and Godwin are both doubtful. They're not going to play. And Buffalo is coming off a I mean, a
Stinker.
really pit in their stomach. Yeah, I mean, they're going to get refocused here, and they're going to get refocused quick, or you're going to see some changes up there. Because I'm going to tell you, before the season started and all the way through the season and the end of last season with the playoff crap out, this team was destined to go to the Super Bowl. And with what they did to Kansas City, they were focused. I think they were unfocused against Miami, and I don't think that they can afford to have that happen again. I mean, they're sitting in a great spot, but they've got to have home field advantage in the playoffs. And if they keep losing these stinker games like that, it could force a lot of teams to be back into it. You better watch out for Baltimore. You know, everyone kind of wrote them off, and I was like, I don't see a path forward. But I'm telling you, man, they're good. They have a weak schedule
and
for the rest of the year.
And the Browns and the Bengals.
I like Buffalo. Exactly. So I like Buffalo. I like Buffalo minus 5.5. I think, unfortunately, Tampa Bay is going up there with not a full deck of cards, and they're going to catch a team who's just looking to pound someone. I think they're going to be focused for it. I think it left a bad taste in their mouth in the Miami game, and I think Buffalo's going to put it on them outside. It's going to be cold. I tell you, man, I think this could be a bounce back game and a bounce back in a big way, and I think 5.5 is an absolute gift in this game with the current injury situation in Tampa. So I'm interested to see what AI gives us after the dismal data that's going to be inputted from Buffalo last week. But I got the Bills. I got the Bills minus 5.5. I got the Bills minus 6.5. I got the Bills minus 9.5. So I got a couple squeezes in there.
The AI is, it's banking on Baker and the Bucs, right? And it's not necessarily like looking at all that offensive line injuries and no run game, and the only receiver they got playing is like Buka, right? So yeah, it's taking the Bills, and I'm taking the Bills reluctantly because I'm a Baker fan. But I'm gonna ride with Allen and the Bills here, especially after watching that defense play last week. And getting taken advantage of by Drake May. So I think Josh Allen has a good game. I think Shakir has a good game. I got him going over. I got spreads though that show that the Bucs cover. Now, I just don't see it happening though. I mean, from a human perspective, I just don't see them being able to cover the 5.5. I got spreads of 3 and 5. I got one of 7, which is, that wouldn't cover. And then 3 and 3 and 3. Pretty much 3. 3 is pretty much the spread here that I got. But I just not believing it with the injuries and what's going on, man. So even though
the one problem one problem with Buffalo though is Dalton Kincaid, when he left with the hammy, like I think right before the half, I mean, he had no outlet, place to throw the ball. And then I saw Shakir is still questionable too. Now they're saying he's probably going to play, but if Kincaid and Shakir both don't play, I don't touch this game. I mean, I'll just put a little asterisk on it. I do not like this game without Shakir or Kincaid. In fact, I don't like it as much if they both don't play. But it was really obvious without Kincaid, Josh was forced to run the ball, and instead of looking at that check down that he always has with Kincaid. So, and Kincaid had a big first half till he got hurt.
Yeah, what's going on with Coleman this year, man? I mean, he had a great year last year. He hasn't been a factor at all.
At all.
I mean, he was the deep threat last year. He's kind of a bigger body. He'd go across the middle. I felt like he played really well for them last year, and he hasn't done anything. I mean, against Atlanta, he had 11 yards, man, receiving yards. He's had 20, 11, 30, 17, and he had his biggest game probably because Kincaid went out last week and he had to play. So I mean, he only had 46 last week, man. I mean,
Shavers and Moore are not. Yeah, Shavers and Moore are not. Shakir and Dalton Kincaid, because Dalton Kincaid is like a wide receiver in a tight end's body. But they got exposed without those guys last week. I mean, I didn't realize that Shakir was as banged up as he was, but he didn't practice a couple days, and then he's still listed as questionable. I mean, it seems like he's going to play. They haven't downgraded to doubtful, and they haven't said he's not going to play, but they're kind of being close to the vest and tight-lipped about it. So I hope they both aren't out. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I got Otten going under. I got Shakir going over. I got Tez Johnson going over for the Bucs. I got Shepard going over for the Bucs. I think they're gonna have to throw the ball late, even if they're behind. So that's why they're probably all going over. But I got Shakir going over. I got Allen having 2 passing touchdowns, and I got Allen, rushing over 30 yards. I got Cook over his number of 80 yards, but I got Keon Coleman under. And nobody else shows up on the overs. So, I don't know who they're going to throw the ball to when they throw it, So, hopefully Shakir will play, and he'll play well. And hopefully Keon Coleman will step up because he just hasn't played very well, man.
Yeah.
All right, well,
relying on Elijah Moore and Shavers to go over ain't going to cut it.
No. All right, before we move on to Kansas City and dinner, let's take a word from our sponsor, Skybox Sports Network. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Shellman, founder of PropJuice, and I've been a customer of Skybox Sports Network for over 10 years. They've supplied me with live sports, scores, and odds every day for all my seasons: basketball, football, hockey, baseball, soccer. It's all there, right on your ticker, in your man cave, in your house, in your bar, in your sports pub. Go get a ticker from Skybox Sports Network. It provides all your favorite team logos. It gives news all day long. Show it off to your friends in your man cave. Everybody will love it. You can get them on Amazon. 10 years ago, I was looking for a ticker. I couldn't find one anywhere. I found Skybox Sports Network, and I ordered it immediately. I got 2 of them now. Get your ticker at Skybox Sports Network. Don't miss out on all the daily news and all the odds coming across your board, all the latest scores. When these games go to commercial, hey, just look up at your ticker. You can get the score right there. Get all your scores and all your odds from Skybox Sports Network. Get 10% off your ticker. Get 10% off your odds boards with the code PropJuice. Put PropJuice in it at checkout. 10% off Skybox Sports Network. Okay, we're back and ready to talk about Kansas City and Denver on the slate this week. The Chiefs are fighting for a playoff spot, even though Vegas has them penciled in to win it all. Which is just funny to me, man. Denver's sitting at 11 in terms of the Vegas odds, right? We just talked about that. Their offense has not looked very good, though. Quite frankly, it's looked like a JV high school team. Bo Nix is not playing very well. He can't convert on third down. They're like 37% on the year for third down. They're only scoring about 23 points a game, and they're mostly racking those points up late in the fourth quarter, man, when the other team decides to give the game back to them, man. So the Chiefs have a stingy defense, so I think points come at a premium in this game. The Broncos got a stingy defense. The Chiefs are averaging 26, and holding their opponents to 17. Both actually are holding their opponents to 17. So something might have to give here. Chiefs are closer to 42% conversion rate on third down, which is better than 37. And then Mahomes and Kelsey are coming off their bye with Andy Reid, so that's always a little bit scary. And pretty much they really can't afford to lose to the Broncos if they want to try to win the Super Bowl, Brian. So who you got in this one? Yep. I know you ain't taking Kansas City.
Yeah, this one, I when we picked this game, I was like, oh, man. Pacheco, I mean, having the bye week, you think will help them get healthy. But without Pacheco against Buffalo, they got exposed. I mean, you put Mahomes in a must-pass situation. I mean, Rashid Rice had a big game, 80. I think Brown had 70-some. Kelsey had 60-some. But Mahomes didn't have a passing touchdown. And, you know, if you rely on Kareem Hunt, you know, he's not an every down back. He's just not. You know, and if that's what they got to do, they're gonna struggle. Now, Pacheco didn't practice on today, on Wednesday, and they have him listed as questionable. I'm getting the feeling. I listened to a couple different interviews. And I listened to Andy Reid talk a little bit about, you know, where they see. I mean, it seems to be. Although he said we're not expecting him to play, I think he's leaning towards playing. I mean, he's had 10 days, I think 11 days now. So, I don't know. This game is tight, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to take. I'm going to take Kansas City, and I can't even believe I'm saying it. I have them not even to make the playoffs. I hope Denver beats them, to be totally honest with you. But as far as, you know, handicapping this game, Kansas City just, I think Denver's struggles is they're going to have to win by scoring like 30. And I'm not sure that they can do that. And that's going to be the problem. And so I really struggled with this game. I really did. I mean, because there's times where
it's just because you
great.
struggle because you don't want to take Kansas City, right? I mean,
I don't want to. You're exactly right. I don't want to play
because
the one time I
to
took
take
them.
The Patriots back in the day either.
I mean, Bo Nix is going to have a game to beat them like he had against Dallas. And we all know Dallas's defense is terrible. I mean, they're you can't even compare Dallas's defense to Kansas City's defense. And so that's what makes me think, like I wanted to find a way to take Denver. I really did. I mean, the 4 points is enticing as well because this game's usually close. But it's in Denver. I think that helps. I think if it's in KC, it's 6.5 or 7. So anyway, I'm going to take the Kansas City and lay the 4 because I have to. But I'm going to tell you, if Bo Nix doesn't throw for 3 touchdowns and 250 yards, they're going to get spanked.
Yeah, I don't think the AI is seeing Bo Nix play football either, man, because the AI's got Denver in this one. It's got it was just very surprising to me because I noticed
the line just went to 3.5.
Really?
Line moved to 3.5.
Yeah, that's what I got right now in my system too. It was 4, and now it's 3.5.
Yep.
Well, maybe you don't want to lay the points, Brian. So I
took KC at 2.5.
I got the Broncos with a 65% chance to win in terms of the money line models. Only one model says they lose this game. The other 4 say they win it. The majority of the spread models, on the other hand, had the Chiefs winning. They got a 27-24 Chiefs, 26-25 Chiefs, 25-24 Chiefs, and the consensus score is Chiefs 25, Broncos 24. So overall spread,
so everyone within the line.
They all cover the 3.5. So I'll probably take the Broncos to cover. I will not take them to win, though. I can't do it. Not against Mahomes off the bye with Andy Reid. I don't even see him covering the 3.5 personally, but given the model says it, I'm going to take it. I'm not going to put it. I'm not going to risk it as my 6th or 7th or 8th leg on a parlay, though. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, I took one with KC at 2.5. I moved the line down to 2.5. And then I took Denver at 10.5. I didn't even take 7.5 because I think this game get ugly, and I only did it on one. I literally did it on just one parlay. I took Denver at 10.5. I don't know. I just think KC wins this game. I would be really happy if Denver won because if I come back next week after taking KC and this is the only game I lose, I'm going to be pissed.
No, you're not. You're going to be excited because you said at the beginning of the year, Kansas City misses the playoffs, man. They're having a down year. I love it. They're missing the playoffs. They're having a down year. So I don't see how you can take them in this game against a division rival, right? The game is at Denver, and if you think Kansas City's not going to the playoffs, then they're going to lose this game, man. That has to be your mentality, man. But anyway, Just remember, they got Denver, then they got Indy. And then they got to play Houston with that defense. Then they got to play the Chargers. And then they'll win against Tennessee. And then they get Denver again. And then they end the season with Las Vegas. That's that. They do not have an easy path. No, they're going to beat Tennessee and Vegas. They'll probably beat Denver once. Maybe not twice. Yeah, maybe they lose this game, man. Maybe they lose this game. It's at Denver.
Are they going to be Indy?
I don't know, man. Daniel Jones looks mortal the last 2 weeks. We'll see what he looks like this week. Or they have a bye this week.
Yeah, they're off.
Yeah. So maybe they'll get their crap together. If he's playing like he was playing, then yeah, I think they beat the Chiefs, man, because they don't punt when he's playing he's playing Jonathan Taylor in that run game. But if he's getting beat up by Chris Jones and Karlaftis, is that how you say his name? If those two guys are eating his lunch, man, he's going to be throwing picks and freaking, overthrows and underthrows and missing people. And it's just the way he is when he gets pressured. So, all right, real quick, in terms of some props in this game, I got Mahomes going over 260. I got Rice going over 70. I got Cortland over 50. I got Kelsey over 44. I got Brown over 21. And both Nix and Mahomes are supposed to throw 2 touchdown passes. Now, I don't see how that happens, man, in this game, given these defenses, but that's what it says. So I just tell you what the AI and the numbers and the data say. So it doesn't see a defensive battle by those numbers. The total's set to 43.5. PropJuice has actually got the over in this one. I hasten to say that, given these defenses, because the average points show this more of like a 20-20 game. I mean, they both like score 23 and 26, and they hold their opponent to like 17. So if you take the middle of that's around 20. I don't know. We'll see. That line's right at 43. That's a 23-20 game, which is pretty much right at where I'm guessing it might be. And you could still have 4 touchdown passes, I guess, in that, 2 by each team, 14-14. You could have that and some field goals and get there. So maybe we have 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals by one team, and 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals by the other team, and Denver pulls it out with a touchdown or with a field goal at the end. I got Hunt and Harvey, according to TuddyCast, potentially having touchdowns too, so they could score those off passes though as well. So I got an interesting game in Denver with Kansas City, could be. It's another tough one though, isn't it? It's a tough one.
It is tough. I'm going to tell you what really jumped out at me. Denver beat the Jets by 2, 13-11. They beat the Giants by 1, 33-32. And then, they pounded Dallas, but Dallas can't stop anyone, and they scored 44 points, their highest output of the year. Then they beat Houston 18-15, which we know they should have lost that game. Yeah. So I tell you, I think Denver might not be as good as most people think they are. I mean, I think the same thing about Kansas City though. And in just looking at some of those games where they just played really bad teams with bad defenses and put up 13 points on the Jets, put up, and then they score a ton on the Giants.
That was before Rice was back, though. And now they got Rice and Worthy back. So
I hope Kansas City has Pacheco. That's going to make a lot of difference on how much more I get down on Kansas City is if Pacheco actually plays. I mean, I think Rashee Rice is getting his legs underneath him. He's looked really good the last few weeks. Listen, man, being off the NFL for as long as he was, it takes a little bit. I mean, game shape and being in shape are 2 totally different things. So I'm hoping Pacheco plays though, because I think that's a big part. Because I think you could run the ball in Denver, and and we know Kansas City can throw the ball on Denver, but running the ball is going to be key, because without that run, and they see that you can't run the ball, if they have to rely on just Kareem Hunt, I'm telling you, man, they're going to stack 8 in the box, they're going to slow it down, and they're going to force Mahomes to pass the ball. And when Mahomes doesn't have the option and he's forced to pass, he's vulnerable. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to say Kansas City.
I feel like they've put up more since their guys have come back. I mean, they put up they put up 30 on Detroit. They put up 28 on Jacksonville. They put up 31 on Vegas. They put up 28 on Washington, and they put up 21 on the Bills. So, Bills not a great defense. So I see where that 21 comes. Washington's down, so I see where that 28 comes from. Vegas is
5 guys out. Yeah.
Detroit had all those injuries when they played.
Both backs, both corners were gone, and Hutch was out. Yeah. I don't know. This is Kansas City begrudgingly.
Yeah. All right. Okay, let's move on to the last matchup of the pod that we're going to cover here. It's an NFC West matchup. It's an NFC championship game, potentially, right? We get the high-flying Seattle offense taking on Stafford's arm and that balanced passing and rushing attack with Puka, Devontae, and Kyron Williams in that backfield. Darnold's playing out of his mind. He's got weapons of his own out there with JSN and Barner. They got a good run game with Walker and Charbonnet in the backfield. But the story of this game may indeed be the defenses again. I mean, we just had that defensive battle with the Eagles and the Packers. Are we going to have another one here with Seattle and the Rams, or is it going to be an offensive juggernaut? I mean, both are playing well. There's a lot of buzz surrounding both defenses. Seattle's only allowing 4.6 yards per play. On the other hand, the Rams are giving up middle of the pack yards, to certain teams. So it seems like it could go, all these games seem like they could be low scoring affairs because the defenses are so good, or the offenses are just going to play well and they're going to outscore everybody. So again, I think this could go either way, man. How do you see it playing out, Brian?
This game is tough. You know, I said the 4 games we picked this week, if we go 50%, it's a damn good week. We go 75%, it's outstanding. I think if this game was in Seattle will be favored by 3. It's in Los Angeles, so the Rams are favored by 3. The only team I added since before the season started for a Super Bowl future bet was the Seattle Seahawks. They caught me completely by surprise. I thought they would be good. I didn't think they'd be this good at all, not even close. They've looked phenomenal. And I think a lot of it has to do with Darnold. You know, I think he played pretty well, but I think he found a better system than what he had in Minnesota. Anyway, I really looked at this game for a long time. You know, I got a lot of questions from clients about it, like, come on, give me your thought process. I said, it's not something that I would put 6 figures down, even if I had their bankroll. I just wouldn't. I think this game can go either way, and I don't like to flip coins for 6 figures, but I'm going to go with the Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams only because of their defense. Their defense played absolutely phenomenal. Stafford's having a year. I mean, remember everyone was like, oh, his back, I don't know if he's going to make it through the first quarter of the season. The guy's playing lights out, man. I mean, I knew they were going to put it on San Francisco after that game they lost. You know, during my trip in Chile that I had to watch in Spanish, I said this game they should have never lost that game, and they're going to put it on San Francisco, and they did. So I'm going to take the Rams -3. I think this game's tough. I really feel
tough, man.
On a neutral field, this game is a pick 'em, and that's what it's going to come down to. It's basically going to come down to whoever has the ball last. So I'm going to go with the Rams -3, and pray.
In my notes, my 2 best bets are Rams +3.5 and Seattle +3.5. That's a +178. So if it comes down to a field goal, there's your +178 money on your money line. If you like a wider spread, because I'm not picking one in this game, man. I'm gonna take the double sides and see what happens. If you like a little bit of a wider spread, Rams +4.5 because they're the favorite, so you can't take them +7.5, or that gives you no juice. If you take the Rams +4.5 and the Hawks +7.5, that's a -120. That's not bad right there, man.
Yeah. Steve likes to do that, guys. I'm just telling you. He starts sending me all those parlays. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
If you think that this is gonna be a close game, man, that's the way to bet this game, man. If you think it could be a blowout either way, then don't listen to me. But if you think this is a touchdown game,
this is not going to be a blowout. These are 2 deep playoff teams. This is not going to be a blowout. This is going to be a close game. I'm guaranteeing it, and I think it's going to come down to whoever has the ball last.
I mean, given that, you know, what I just said, the AI has the Rams winning this game on the money line bets, and it has the Seattle Seahawks winning this game on the spread side. I mean, I think all my models seem to be like split this week, man. It's taking one on the money line, and it's taking the other on the spreads, man. It's crazy. Because so what is this? I got a 53% chance for the Rams to win this game, okay? But it's got Seattle. The consensus spread shows Seattle winning 30-28. It's a 2-point game, right? So yeah, I mean it's just a tough call. We got 24-21. No, sorry, it's wrong game. Let me get on the right game here. Let me pull it up here. So we got 24-22 Rams, 32-30 Hawks, 33-27 Hawks, 31-31 tie, and then our consensus is 30-28 Hawks. So, I mean, it's a really close game. I kind of give the edge at home to Stafford as well, although I don't know. You know, they really don't play at home, man. There's not a lot of Rams fans in LA. So, I don't know. Do you think the Seahawks fans come down? I mean, the Seahawks fans can travel. I don't know. Do you think it's 50-50 down there? Like a Raiders game system?
Yeah. You know, Raiders game's like 80-20. The one thing that really stood out to me, looking at Seattle, and I mentioned earlier, I got some at 1,200. I put on into I do some future parlays. And they were the only Super Bowl team that I didn't have on a couple parlays before the season started. But I got a 1,200. I think you said earlier they were down to like 950 or something. Yep. But the one key in researching this game that really jumped out to me, if it wasn't for that field goal against Tampa Bay, that Seattle lost 38-35, and they had 2 turnovers in that game in crucial spots. And then the first game of the year, they lost to San Francisco when San Francisco had Purdy, they had Kittle, they were relatively healthy, had everybody to start the season. They lost that game, I think, by 3. So if it's not for a field goal, and they lost 17-13 to San Francisco, first game of the year. If it's not for that and the Tampa Bay field goal, the Seattle Seahawks would be undefeated. I mean, this team, you got to do a little deeper dive to really see it. I mean, I always kind of view them,
man. I think they're great. I think they're one of my top 3 teams in the league, man.
Yeah, I mean, they beat Jacksonville. They beat Houston with really good defense, I think by 8. They slaughtered Washington. They beat the crap out of Arizona twice. Or they won one that was close when Kyler was still playing, but without Kyler, it was like a 25, I think 20 or 25 point game. They slaughtered New Orleans. They beat the crap out of Pittsburgh. And then the field goal game with Tampa Bay. So listen, I think Seattle is a very, very, very good team. I mean, for me to include them in some future Super Bowl wagers to win it all, I think it was kind of strange that we haven't used these Seattle in many games this year in our 4 that I spend the most time on naturally. But, even going through all the games, I always kind of look at them and go, I've played them quite a few times. I've hit them quite a few times because I just thought the lines were obscene and they were, they were a line that I thought I could expose. But I tell you, man, they've come through. I mean, without those 2 games, they're an undefeated NFL team, which doesn't exist. So, anyway,
I was looking at where
I like them.
I was looking at where the money is on this game. So 52% bets placed on Seattle, 48% on the Rams, 52% Seattle money line, 48% Rams money line. I find that interesting. 59% -3 on the spread, right? That doesn't make sense. So you got a ton of people betting the Seattle money line and the Rams to cover. 59% of the bets are on the Rams to cover, 52% on the Seattle money line, and then the totals 73% on the over. So it really is a 50-50 game here in terms of how it's being bet.
Yeah.
Too.
I just pulled up Skybox because I'm going to use the Seahawks on a couple parlays only money line, but DraftKings has them at plus 150. I mean, they're basically 140. I think FanDuel's the smallest at like 136, but they're basically 140 at Caesars and 150 on DraftKings. That's a big money line for a game that's this close. I just think there's some value there.
105 or something like that, right? I mean,
yeah. I'm really, really, really surprised that you can get a 150 number on a 3-point game. I mean, Fanatics has it at 3.5, but everyone else is straight across 3, and it's like 109 to 115. 109 to 115. DraftKings 115. So, I mean, come on, man. If you can get juice at 150 on a 3-point spread, I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think I might bet that right now. I'm sitting here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was surprised pulling. That's why I love Skybox, man. I mean, it just has everything. It's up to the second. You see the lines, you see the moves. I mean, there's nothing better than your Skybox board, and just it gives you all the information that you need right in front of you.
So one more time on the spreads, they're all -3.
They're all 3 except for Fanatics was 3.5. That's the only 3.5 line I saw anywhere, and then the rest of them are 3 from 109 to 110. 109 to 115 on DraftKings. But then you get 150 on money line from DraftKings, and the rest are 140s and 138.
Right. Okay.
150 Seattle. You got to use that, man, because when you have a 150 money line on a parlay, I mean, I just crushed that big one I crushed last weekend with the Lions when I moved it to 20.5. I mean, it made that parlay go from $1,600 to $2,417. So, like I only had it on one. I had the normal spread on a bunch. I had a couple of money lines, but then I squeezed that one to 20.5. I mean, when I sent it to my biggest client, he just laughed. He goes, "Dude, you're such a gambler." And I go, "Yeah, but when they cover this and you get this juice," and he's like, "Yeah, I'll take a little swinger." So he put 5,000 down, just straight, just because he goes, "God, you really feel confident about this?" I said, "I think the lines are going to blow them out," and they did. So, and then, it was kind of shaky. It kept going 18 to 21, 18 to 24, back and forth. And then I was like, "Oh crap, it's going to end up at 20 and we're going to miss this." And then they went down and kicked that field goal. So yeah, it was a nice hit, man. And great for the parlay. When you go to plus 16, I think it was like 1605 up to 2417. So yeah, I like it.
Nice, man. All right, man, that about does it. I think we got some dogs, too, so I don't think we need to cover any. I mean, I'm taking Denver. I get the AI's taking Denver. I think I'm taking Kansas City, though, in my actual bets. I think we agree on the Eagles. We agree on the Bills. And we kind of agree on the Rams, but you're going to take the Hawks on the money line, right? Because you think the Rams are going to win
just on one parlay. My
Okay.
selection is going to be Rams minus 3. I mean, I'm forced to take a spread pick, just for what we do on the pod. So I took Rams minus 3, but I'm going to have one parlay with Seattle plus 150 just to win outright, just on one parlay. Yeah, KC, AI had Denver, right? And then both of us had Buffalo, and both of us had the Lions, right? A dog.
Yeah, it's, the AI is split really on Denver KC in terms of the money line and the spread models, and it's split on Rams Hawks. But it has the Rams winning, and it has the Hawk covering, and it's got Denver winning and Kansas City covering, but it also has Kansas City winning in the spread model. So it's just a little bit confusing there. I think these are both pick'em games personally. I think they could both come down to who has the ball last at the end of the game. So
yeah, I agree. Good deal, man.
Right,
This
man,
is going to be a great week.
Yeah, no, man. Remember, you can get these data-backed model-driven insights all season long at PropJuice.ai. Come out, check out the NBA props tonight. Lock in your best bets for the NFL weekend. Combine your NFL and NBA player props and game picks at PropJuice.ai. Squeezing profits out of every wager. PropJuice is AI worth the squeeze. Don't forget to get that ticker for your man cave or your sports pub. Just go to Amazon and have one delivered right to your door. Use the discount code PropJuice on Skybox's website. Again, if you put PropJuice in on Skybox's website, you get 10% off like a $2,000 ticker, man. So go get a ticker at Skybox Sports Network. It's that easy. 10% off your odds, your news, your scores all season long. Skybox Sports Network, available at Amazon and on their website. Been another fun week, Brian. We got 4 crazy games. I feel like it's the playoffs, man, this weekend. Any last minute comments there?
No, let's do it, man. I'm gonna try to ship this poker tournament tomorrow, and then I can't wait for Thursday.
Keep us updated on
Thursday night.
Man, with your
Thursday night game is good too, man. I like some NFL games. I think you got to tread carefully on some this week, but there's some other games, that we don't discuss on the podcast that we got great data on PropJuice that you can go over and check out. And the feedback we're getting on the site is incredible. And since the NBA started, people are like, I didn't even really bet the NBA, but you guys are so damn hot on all these picks, man. I just start jumping in and start playing. I'm like, oh, I know. I'm watching now NBA on my top 2 TVs, and I never watch NBA. But hey, man, we're all here to make money, so.
And we're in mid-season form with hockey too, man, and all the we had
baby. We had the Winnipeg jersey on today.
Hey man, we had McDavid scored 900 last week, right? I mean, that was pretty cool. And they won last night. Didn't they win 4-1 last night, man? The Caps, man, they had a really good game last night. So NHL's in full swing, NBA's in full swing. Get on PropJuice. Check out your NBA and your NFL picks, man. Spread the word, like the channel. Come back next week from the cave. Man versus machine pits expert Brian Reinert, expert capper, against the PropJuice AI data-backed machine. Catch next week's episode on Thursday before week 12. Again, I had a great time talking ball with you. All right, Brian, let's just go win, baby!
Let's do it!